Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing week. Honored to be connecting in with you. We are in May, and we've been over the past month in April. We're looking a lot at how do we overcome challenges and not just survive, thrive. And so as we're moving and maneuvering into May, we're continuing with looking at overcoming challenges, and then how do we really stand in our power, purposely bring ourselves forward on purpose and with great purpose. Today, we're going to be talking about stepping into your message, who you truly are, and thriving. How do we do that fully and share it out in the world? We have two amazing guests that are joining us today. They're going to pour their wisdom, their heart, their expertise into us today. We have two amazing sponsors that are leaning into today as well, also coming alongside us to empower us to thrive in our life. So we have a very rich show, personally designed just for each and every one of you. And I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today. So I'm going to invite you to choose to be fully present. Let me take a breath with me, in fact. Good. I think sometimes we think we're present because our body is there. We're here. But our spirit, our thoughts, our mind can get distracted. We can be looking at other things, trying to multitask. And what happens is we're not fully present, which means we miss things. We miss exactly what is here for us. And I know there is something here for you today by the very nature that you tuned in and are listening. And so I'm going to encourage you to really be mindful, be purposeful in choosing to be present, mind, body, soul, and spirit, and open to receive, because you have choice in that, being open to receive everything that is here for you today so that you can get poured into and bring that information forward. In fact, we've built into the show opportunities for you to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate information on a cellular level. So it actually becomes part of you instead of on your to-do list to someday maybe hopefully get to. You actually are breathing, integrating into your life now, real time, so that it becomes part of who you are as you go back out into the world. So doesn't that sound beautiful? By being here, being present, being is enough, and receiving, you'll be poured into and get everything that is here for you to bring forward all that you are called to bring forward in your life. Such an honor to have you leaning into the conversation today. So let's take a moment as we're breathing, moving around a little bit, perhaps coming present, to put one hand on our heart, one hand on our head, bringing us all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Now, those of you who are driving, please keep your eyes open, both hands on the wheel, no texting and driving, but inwardly, purposely tuning in. Those of you who are able to, though, put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Let's breathe in through your nose. See how big you can make your belly. Out through your mouth. Like through a straw. Keep breathing. This type of breathing lowers your stress levels, your cortisol levels. Brings rich, beautiful oxygen to every cell of your body, which helps fully support you, helps you become present, have clarity in thinking, and receive everything that is available to you. So keep breathing. Breath is so important and powerful. And as you're breathing, I want you to just think about, are you feeling like it's really clear what your message is and that people around you are understanding what your message is, what you're bringing to the world? When they think of you, they know what you stand for. They know what your heart is. They know what your passion is, what you bring to the world. And this is whether you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, or not. We all have a way we are showing up in the world, and we want to make sure it's in alignment, that people are seeing who we are and what matters to us. That's our message. Do you feel like that's clear and fully understood? Then let's celebrate that. Or do you feel like there's a little bit more that could help it be seen more, and you're not quite sure maybe even what that is, but you want more people to understand who you are and what you stand for? Let's just feel into that. Beautiful. So looking at this, looking at who you are, your message, what you're bringing forward, what is it that you need today that will encourage you, empower you, uplift you? What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Because you have choice. So what is it you need and are willing to receive? Let's take a moment. Breathe that information, receive it. Wonderful. Then let's come back into the room, eyes open, fully present, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. Let's get it out of us and in front of us, so we're actually starting to co-create it in our life. Let's take a moment, write it down so you can keep it top of mind, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Because we can forget, we can get distracted and miss what's right in front of us. So let's write that down. And I'm going to encourage you to be unattached to how. In fact, be looking forward to being excited and surprised by the unexpected and wonderful way that very need is met. Let's breathe that in together. Wonderful. We're going to go around our virtual room as we connect heart to heart with our amazing guests that are supporting us today. And I'm going to have each of them share just 10, 15 seconds when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen what was laid on their heart. And with that, Faith, I would love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. For me, this is something that is, I'd say, consistently on my heart. What came up was resources and connections. And connections being heart-centered, like-minded, individuals on the same journey for the purposes of scaling and automating, my business, my brand, so that I can reach and serve more in my capacity of doing personal branding. So resources and the right connections.
Beautiful. And I like that, the right connections. We want to be mindful that the connections we're making are heart-centered and in alignment and the right. Yeah. And it's not a solo journey. So beautiful, beautiful share. So resources and right connections. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carma, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
For me, it was focus and alignment. I had kind of a crazy year that's knocked me off track, and I feel like I'm flailing around at times, and I just need to realign.
Yes. I'm breathing that in with you. It's so easy to start having the year run us and how important it is. And we can be pulled so many directions. So how important it is to have that focus and that breath and that alignment. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Right.
Listeners, how about you? As we get ready to go to our first commercial break here, I want you to see if some of those shares by Faith and Carma are resonating with you, if you want to add that into some of what would support you on your journey. And please take these next 2 minutes as an opportunity, as these commercials that have beautiful updates and highlights we want you to be aware of are playing in the background, to stay present and really stop, pause, breathe, and integrate what is being spoken into your heart and into your spirit. And with that, we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself an opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and receive everything that is being shared with you today. Now, those of you who have been on the journey with us for a while, or even perhaps this is the first time you're tuning in with us today, you'll notice one of the things we spend time and energy purposely on is being present and breathing and using breath to stop, pause, and integrate. And one of our amazing sponsors is so aligned with having clean air to support every cell of our body. Now, sponsors are organizations that powerfully believe in you and the work that we do on this show, so much so they're willing to put their brand and their name and their resources behind it so that we can lean in and serve you on higher and higher levels. And so today, as I share about a couple of our amazing sponsors that are really committed to helping you thrive in life, I want you to tune in and listen and get to know them a little bit, because they are powerfully believing in you. The first sponsor I wanted to share with you today is named Molecule. And Molecule introduces breakthrough science that is finally capable of destroying air pollutants at a molecular level, replacing 50-year-old antiquated technology. This means we're getting clean air to breathe and support us. So it can help you, Molecule can help you breathe clean air as you sleep, which of course translates to better sleep. It can help you in meaningful ways. It's had a meaningful impact on people that struggle with allergies and asthma. I am someone that I struggle with allergies a little bit, and that breath is so important and valuable. And in fact, one customer shared that she was able to breathe through her nose for the first time in 15 years. Just imagine all that air coming throughout her body on every cell to support her. So let me just share one final piece, because they're also going to share a special opportunity with you today. So Molecules Technology has been personally, just making sure I shared this with you, has been personally effective and verified by science, but most importantly, it's been tested by real people. Molecule has already helped allergy and asthma sufferers around the country better cope with her condition and significantly reduce their symptoms. So today, we have a special opportunity for those of you who are wanting to lean in and check Molecule out. So you want to go to Molecule, MOLEKULE.com, and this will go to their main website, Molecule, MOLEKULE.com, and enter the promo code Empowering Women. So this is just for our listeners. The promo code again is Empowering Women, and you'll get $75 off your first order. So please check Molecule out. I want to encourage each and every one of you to bring in tools to support you in breathing fully, bringing clean air into your life and into your body so that you can thrive. Molecule, thank you for leaning into us. Beautiful. And I wanted to continue our conversation. We opened the show talking about stepping into your message and thriving, fully sharing who you are out into the world. And our amazing guest, we have two powerful guests today, and our first guest, Carma, is a specialist in helping you bring your message forward. So let me share a little bit about her. So Carma Spence is an author, a speaker, an empowerment leader, and she is fiercely committed. So fiercely committed. It's not just kind of committed. We're fiercely committed to helping people who are introverted and shy, and maybe even feel a little bit socially awkward. She's here to help you tap into and discover and unleash your inner speaking superhero. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing and powerful Carma Spence to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I have this image of Kermit the Frog waving his head going, ah!
I love that. I can see the hands waving. Beautiful. Welcome. We're thrilled to have you joining us today. And I appreciated your share this morning earlier in the call, or the show, I should say, where you're talking about focus and alignment. And I'd love for you to share why this work of helping people, particularly those that are introverted and shy, that feel awkward socially, helping them tap into their inner speaking superhero. Why is this work personally so important to you?
Well, frankly, it's because I was that person. I was bullied as a child. I had a disabled sister, so my parents put all their energy into her rather than me. So I became very inward and shy. And it was speaking that helped me come out of my shell. And I met so many people who are introverted and shy who think, oh, I can't do that. I can't speak. I can't speak up. But they can. They just need to change their perspective and get some practice. And what really instigated me to move my business in this direction was I was interviewing all these professional speakers for my latest book. And many of them kept saying something to the effect of, well, introverts will find it hard to be a speaker, extroverts won't. And I said, well, gee, that's not my experience. I'm very introverted, and yet it just took a little nudge, and off I went.
Ah, love it. Beautiful share. Thank you for sharing it. And I love that you're kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit and letting people know, one, that you are introverted and you were that, and you can still step forward powerfully and share gifts and speaking. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And just in case I haven't shared with you before, Carma, and our listeners, I am an introvert. And I was very, very shy. I can't claim to be shy now. I'm not really shy now, but I was for for a lot of years, and I am still introverted, and yet I love speaking and sharing. So there is a powerful place for that, and getting that support is so important. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about some of how you've overcome challenges in your life, perhaps even a little bit of how you went from feeling shy and awkward, and we're probably still introverted. I don't know that people completely change over. I'm still introverted. But how did you start to overcome that challenge and really step forward powerfully in your life in this way?
Well, it started off in high school when my speech teacher asked me to join the speech team. And I was shocked because when I stand up on the stage, at that time in my life, my ears would turn bright red, or at least it felt like they were turning bright red. And I was always just terrified of it, but I had the support of my father, who was my tutor in speaking for a long time because he was a teacher. And so I joined the speech team, and I competed, and I earned awards, and blah, blah, blah. And that just sort of that got me bitten by the speaking bug. So I continuously returned to it. And I think part of it is just that, well, I like to talk. There's always that part. I'm a chatterbox. But as I've gone through various challenges in my life, I found that my ability to sit back, figure out what my message is, what I need to say, and speak it with power has helped me get out of really bad situations.
Okay. So there are just some real powerful ways it's affected your life, too. So not just speaking and getting out there, but really helping you stand in your power and move forward in those areas that matter to you. Is there a piece of advice or tip that you might give to our listeners who perhaps are introverted or shy and feel awkward when it comes to speaking and standing up and being seen in that way? Do you have a tip or a piece of advice for them?
Sure. The main thing is just do it. Find a Toastmasters club or some other speaking club and force yourself to do it. Take baby steps. Now, if that's too big of a leap at first, you can start even with smaller baby steps, like speaking in front of a mirror, then graduate to speaking in front of a video camera, then graduate to speaking in front of 1 or 2 friends, then 5 friends, then 10 friends, then add a few strangers. And you slowly build up your I can speak in front of people muscle. And it really is a matter of just pushing your envelope of fear one little step at a time and practice, practice, practice.
Beautiful. I love that. And I'm picturing, and we talk on our shows that baby steps count. So in case you're new to our show, this is the first time you're listening, baby steps absolutely count. So I love that you broke it into baby steps for us today, because we can add that to our toolbox. And part of what I was hearing and feeling as you're saying, giving us those steps we can take, is that every time as you're building that muscle, you're getting stronger, you're surviving, you get to expand to next layer, and then in your journey, you got bit by the speaking bug, and you love it. And you'll find there's a switch that happens.
Not everyone will, but if you can build your speaking skills, they'll help you in every area of your life. Finding a job, finding a life partner, talking to people in the grocery store line.
Beautiful. And I'd love for you just to tap into that, because one of the areas you shared prior to the show that you would be able to talk about is how this can help us be more successful in our lives in general. And you just gave a couple examples. Are there any other pieces of information that you would like to add to that, how stepping a little bit more, building the speaking muscle can impact our lives so powerfully in a positive way?
Well, if you don't own your own business and you're in a career, people who are afraid of public speaking and let that get in their way earn 15% less than those who don't let a fear of speaking get in their way. Yeah. And I believe that's probably, the data I found was for people in jobs, but I think it would probably apply to people in business as well. Because if you're afraid to speak in public, you're not going to speak up and proclaim your value to your boss or your clients or your potential customers. And so if you can get to a point where you're at least comfortable speaking, then you're more likely to step up to the plate and say, hey, I've got these ideas, and impress your boss. Or when you're talking to someone and it sounds like they're a perfect client, you'll say, oh, I've got this something that might help you. You'll be better able to speak up, and therefore you'll get that raise, you'll get that client, you'll make more money.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And whether we are in business or work for a company or have our own, it's so important that we are sharing, because people can't read our minds. They don't know what's on our heart. They don't know what we are bringing forward if we're not able to share it and willing to. And even on the journey that you described earlier, Carma, the step-by-step of, doing it anyway, even if there's that little bit of discomfort, being willing to take step by step by step. So I so appreciate your share today. Thank you. And
you're welcome.
And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want to encourage you to take these 2 minutes to stop, pause, breathe in beautiful, hopefully very clean, supportive air as you're thinking about what Carma shared and what is being spoken into your heart and spirit. We'll give her an opportunity towards the end of the show to let you know how to contact her and stay in touch, because we think that's important. We want you to have access to our experts just like we do. But take these 2 minutes right now just for you to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate what's being spoken into your heart and spirit, particularly about sharing your message and speaking. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you, an opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate. Wonderful. Welcome back. And I wanted to take a moment to share about another one of our amazing sponsors that absolutely is believing in you and leaning into you. And as I introduce this particular sponsor, I just want you to think about what are some of the tools, practices you've built into your life to support you on your journey. Because I believe this next sponsor has valuable tools and resources to support you on your journey. Their name is Audible. And just for those of you who are not familiar with Audible, Audible is the leading provider of premium digital spoken audio information and entertainment on the internet. You can access it anywhere around the world. Listening, in fact, makes us smarter, more connected people. And Audible is where so many inspiring voices and compelling stories open listeners up to new experiences and ways of thinking, which is so important to have that type of support built into your life. And Audible wants to offer a special opportunity to you today. And this is just for our listeners, so make sure to listen in and take note of this. You can start listening with a 30-day Audible trial. Your first audiobook and 2 Audible originals are free. Visit Audible, which is AUDIB as in boy, LE.com / and here's the promo code. So you would hit Audible, visit AUDIBLE.com / empowering women. That's audible.com / empowering women. Or if you prefer to text, you can text to empowering women to 500-500. Again, that's text empowering women to 500-500. And this will give you this beautiful 30-day Audible trial for free. I encourage you to lean in, get your first audiobook and 2 Audible originals for free. And while you're doing that, I always like to make a recommendation because the Audible world has so many powerful resources. I want to encourage you to check out Walking with Spirit by our very own Dr. Ruth Anderson. Again, that's Walking with Spirit by Dr. Ruth Anderson. We've had her on the show many times, and her book is so powerful, and I know it will inspire you in your daily walk and journey of life. Audible, thank you for leaning into us and supporting our listeners in such a powerful way. Now, I'd love for us to continue our conversation as we've been talking about stepping into your message more fully, sharing what matters to you out into the world powerfully and thriving while doing it, not just surviving, but thriving. And our next amazing expert is a powerful brand expert. I'm going to give you what she's known by in just a moment, but let me share a little bit about our powerful next guest that's going to support you around how are you showing up in the world? How is your brand being seen? Faith James is known as the Queen of Branding. I just love the feel of that. So, Queen of Branding. She's an award-winning expert with 25 years experience being a Fortune 500 influencer for brands like IBM, Pepsi, Mary Kay. She's a speaker, a leader, and CEO of the Personal Branding Consulting, and is absolutely passionate about helping entrepreneurs create unique brand positioning and shining. Please lean in and powerfully welcome to our show the amazing Faith James. Welcome.
Thank you. So grateful to be here with you, Rebecca.
Thrilled to have you here. I've always enjoyed every conversation we've had. So I'm
likewise.
very happy to have the opportunity to share you with all of our listeners. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work around helping people create a unique brand and positioning themselves in that way? Why is that personally so important to you?
It's so important because if you think about where we are now in any industry, it's super crowded, right? We're in an ever increasing crowded market space. Whether you're a realtor, whether you're an author, right? Whether you are a business consultant, it doesn't matter, because with the information age, everybody can sort of set up a little shingle and say they're in business. So the ability and the need to really be set apart and distinguished is so important, to be able to show what it is that you do, how you do it, and why you do it in such a way that's going to become transformational. You do that by building a brand. It's beyond just, people think just, go buy some ads, and that's not it. So it's so important to really set yourself apart. Otherwise, you just become part of the great unwashed. With love.
Yes.
I say that.
Well, and there can be just so much information and noise out there. It can be very difficult to stand out. So it's so important to have clear brand positioning to be able to do that. I'm curious why this became your passion, though.
Gosh, when I started doing communications when I was in university, initially I started to be a nurse.
Okay.
And then I did a TV production program, and it just lit me up. Just the ability to impact consumer behavior, because that's what, branding and marketing is at the end of the day. It's getting the consumer to do or take that particular action that you need. And I was just always so fascinated by human condition, human connections, why people do the things that they do, and then just having like the right side of my brain be so super dominant. I'm very, very right brain leaning. So the combination of the two it just set my soul on fire. And I just love, I love getting results for clients. So it all just came together perfectly.
Beautiful. I can hear your passion and excitement. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate knowing a little bit of why that became something that was so meaningful to you, because I know you've been very successful in helping so many people with it. It's always nice to kind of know the why. Beautiful.
Yes.
And so we've talked a little bit about some of the challenge that entrepreneurs can have around branding and all of that noise, all of that information. Is there anything else you want to add to that conversation, or did we already cover kind of the big challenges that entrepreneurs are facing around that?
So, no, absolutely. So think of it as sort of like multifaceted, right? So not only are you in a crowded marketplace, then there are other, industry providers who will say, I can help you build a brand. I can help you do SEO. I can help you get to number one. There are a lot of people out there saying a lot of things. And if you as the entrepreneur are just, well-intended, but not really that expert in that particular area, you might just go with somebody, spend a lot of money, and it doesn't work out the way that you're thinking. So one of the things that I'm just so rabid about is letting entrepreneurs understand that building a personal brand is more than just a logo. It's more than just a website. It goes way upstream to first understanding what is your vision for the world. Why are you here to do the thing that you think you're here to do? What are you passionate about? What's your mission, vision statement? What are your core values? It goes on. I mean, there's so much more to building a brand. You first have to know who you are, what you stand for, how do you say this in a very compelling way, and then once you've gotten all those piece parts together, then you can go do the logo, do the design. I always use the analogy of the house. If you say to an architect, I want a Tudor-style building, they're not just going to start building, they're going to say, where's the blueprint? Building your personal brand must start first with the blueprint. Those core elements I just mentioned are some of the key cornerstones of building your personal brand.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, because I think sometimes so many people are like, well, I just need the logo, or I just need this thing, and they're trying to approach it from the outside versus really taking from the inside out. And to me, that's going to be a more lasting brand and image, because it's coming from the true core of who somebody is and what they're wanting to bring into the world. And it
You've
sounds
got to
like
get connected to the heart. You've got to get connected to the heart and then build from there.
Exactly. And for me, I was thinking as you were listing all of those things, and I don't know if our listeners feel the same, but I would love for your comments on this, that those are a lot of things that we can be so close to. We're almost too close to why we do some of the things we do, or why we believe some of the things we do, or maybe we actually haven't even gone in and explored and had those questions asked of us. especially
so
around
true.
our brand. And so thinking about all of that, what is your opinion about, is that something that someone can just kind of do a workbook and go forward with and be really successful? Or is it really important they have an expert walk beside them? And I'd love to know why you feel that way, because you're an expert in this over 25 years. I'd love your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. And so when you think about that, you think about brands like, IBM or Microsoft or Pepsi, name any of them. Those are smart, intelligent individuals running those organizations, the CMO, typically MBA and above. Why would then they need to have an agency or a strategist help them? They could just go do it themselves if it were that easy. If you think about elite athletes, every single elite athlete, whether from the Olympics on down, they all have coaches. Doctors have coaches. I shared a TED video the other day with my tribe where this doctor was talking about why even doctors need coaches. So my philosophy, and I hold very strongly to this, every single person needs to be in guidance with somebody else who can sort of have that third eye view of them. Because like you're right, we're so close to our stuff. It's sort of like when you're editing, as a publisher, you're reading the same text and you can't see the typos, but somebody else comes along fresh and they're like, oh, it should be it's, not it. And you're like, what? I've read this manuscript 10 times. Yes. So it's the same thing. You really need to have that outside guidance.
Beautiful. Thank you. Because I think sometimes we're feeling like, well, I can figure it out. I'm smart and capable. Yeah. And I love that you're giving us that example of very smart, capable, amazingly talented people. And organizations bring in that expertise and that support to bring that outside view and guidance and perspective. And that's the other thing. We're not doing this day in and day out. I think about the publishing world, and as we do marketing campaigns and things, we're kind of doing that day in and day out. We know how to navigate the waters and how to help people come forward really, really powerfully. But if you're not doing it every day and this isn't your area of expertise, you're stumbling along trying to figure it out on your own, and there's mistakes that can be made along the way. I'd love your comments and thoughts on that.
And costly, let me add, and costly mistakes that will come along, the way. I always say, think about, the analogy of if you would not go perform any type of surgery on yourself, even if you could go to WebMD, even if you can go Google, how to do, a lateral, you just wouldn't do it. And so because there's such familiarity, the saying, familiarity breeds contempt. There's so much information on the internet that people think, oh, sure, I've heard of SEO, or sure, I've heard of boosting or Facebook ads or Google AdWords. I can figure it out. It's no different than you trying to go do surgery on yourself. You wouldn't do it if you had a broken arm. Don't do it with your brand. Don't do it with your business. Leave it to the experts, because as you said, we've seen it all and we can help prevent those costly mistakes.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was thinking costly and timely and painful. Well, is there a tip or a piece of advice for someone that is looking at, wow, I haven't looked at my brand, or I didn't realize that it was more involved, or I need to take a step? What is a step they can take today to kind of help them move their personal brand forward?
I would say ask. Just start asking. Start asking your colleagues. Start asking your networking contacts, your vendors, your suppliers, your mentors, anybody. Just to, one or two questions of, what do you think my top 5 attributes are? And you just jot them down if they send it an email, and start to see if you're seeing any convergence. Are you showing up consistently as people saying, oh, you're really confident, or you're likable, or you're very curious, or you're such an expert? There's obviously a more professional way to get this, so you get the information anonymously. But for people listening now, just to start, pick 5 people. What do you think my top 5 attributes are? And go ask those people. And that starts to get at, and I would say you need to have a baseline. Just if you go to the doctor and he needs to see what your blood work is before you say, oh, I just need a prescription for lisinopril. It doesn't work that way. You've got to see where you are right now. Start asking how you're being seen. Your brand perception of where you are currently is so important, a piece of the equation, before you can start go fixing. Because if you are seen in one way and you start going to networking meetings and marketing and you're not getting business, it doesn't matter. If people have a perception of you that you don't know, you're wasting money there. You need to sort of attend to, how are you seen right now?
Yes, that makes so much sense. Thank you. Really great tip. I appreciate it. Beautiful. So listeners, as we get ready to go back to our commercial break time, I know our time just goes so fast, but I want to give each of you an opportunity to integrate what is being shared with you. This is valuable information. And I love how Faith has pulled back the curtain a little bit to give you some powerful insight around what goes into brand, what it is, and how it's much more involved sometimes than we think. And a great place to start and kind of see how you're being seen in the world. I think that is really, really important advice, because if we don't know how we're being seen, it's hard to know what shifts may need to take place for where we're wanting to go and what we're called to bring forward. So enjoy these next 2 minutes as you stop, pause, breathe, and integrate, and we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's not just talk radio. Hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-host Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing. Packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click Register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. Let's take a breath as we connect back in. Beautiful. It's been such an honor to have all of you leaning in, connecting, and joining us today. And I wanted to make sure, as I had promised, that we go around the room and each of our experts share their contact information, because I want you to be able to lean in and connect further and be able to take things to another level, especially with those experts that are resonating with you, so you can continue that conversation. So Carma, I'd love for you to share your contact information, how they can follow you or reach out to you. What's the best way to do that?
Okay. If you're interested in speaking and improving your speaking, go to publicspeakingsuperpowers.com. At the top of the page is all my social media. if you're more interested in writing and creating a legacy through information products, go to carmaspence.com. That's Karma with a C, as in can I drive the car? Ma. Spence, SPENCE.com.
Perfect.
And my social media is all on both those websites.
Okay, great. And do you mind listing the first one again? Because I wasn't sure if it was superheroes plural or singular.
Public Speaking Superpowers.
Superpowers. Oh, see, important I asked. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, great. And then did you have a piece of advice or a tip as they get ready to go back out into the world that they can take with them?
Yes. Most people are afraid to speak up and do public speaking because they're afraid that the audience is judging them, especially when they make a mistake. However, in every communication, it's all about the audience, not about you, which means the audience is in their own head thinking about their own stuff. They're not judging you. In fact, they want you to succeed because they don't want you to bore them. They don't want you to waste their time, so they're rooting for you. And if you keep that in mind, that your audience is actually rooting for you, because a hostile audience is very rare, then it can help bolster your confidence.
Beautiful. Thank you for that shift and perspective we can bring to our speaking. Beautiful. Thank you. And Faith, I'd love for you to share how people can connect further with you.
Absolutely. So the website is called speakwithfaith.com. So speak as in speak, talk, right? Speak with faith, F as in Frank, AITH.com. And that takes everybody to my site where just a few quick questions, and then at the end it invites them to book a session with me, and if it's appropriate, to say that anybody who's interested will actually get a 30-minute brand audit with me if they're so inclined. Yes, so it's a brand audit, 30 minutes. You can go to speakwithfaith.com, and I would be happy to do that for you.
Beautiful. And thank you for clarifying 30 minutes, not 30 seconds.
30
I appreciate
minutes.
that. Yeah.
That would be laser coaching at its finest.
I love it. And then really quickly, did you have a piece of advice or tip that you could give our listeners today?
Yes. Always remember, you are your brand. Hashtag you are your brand. All of you, not just your logo, not just your website, not just your business card, not just your marketing materials, the entire you, how you show up, how you speak, how you treat people, how you interact, how you present everything. So the entire 360, you are your brand. So as you move about the earth, just keep that in mind.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. We get to bring a brand everywhere we go then. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. It's just been an honor and a privilege, and we are thrilled to connect in with you and support you on your journey. And I just want to encourage you, as you get ready to go back out into the world, to take a couple minutes after the show and stop, pause, breathe, and integrate what is being placed in your heart and spirit. Take action. Connect in with Karma and Faith. They are on your side, supporting you on your journey. Check out our amazing sponsors who are also leaning in and supporting you on your journey. And remember, you are an amazing gift, beautifully, wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose. And I believe for such a time as now. You're uniquely and wonderfully made. And what the world needs is actually more of you. So be willing to share the gift of you. Be willing to show up, be seen, share more of who you are, what matters to you, and what your unique gifts are with the world. So that whatever may come, be willing, choose to bloom where you are planted and shine, which means share the gift of you beautifully, powerfully, and purposely out into the world. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.